Well, I know this is probably a bad time to kind of like raise up issues with law enforcement, like local law enforcement, but I mean, in the last, I don't know, as long as I've been alive, I feel like there's just so much discrimination with local law enforcement. Like, if you are not like some kind of established person. I mean, I don't want to go into every scenario, but I was working in the woodlands in my shitty, work truck. I know it looks bad with ladders and toolboxes and on the sides and advertising, and I know it looks crappy and all, but it actually does its job, and I mean, it's outlived its investment and everything. But I mean, I remember they pulled me over and I refused to search, and they said they had got a call, right? So they had a reason to pull me over. I didn't do anything. They said I didn't use my turn signal at a turn. I'm just saying, I'm not trying to bring up every situation, but they took out every single tool. I mean, every tool. That's not the first time that happened. And I mean, I was tired. I mean, I'm a worker, and I was working from, it was like 7 a.m. to I got out of there. By the time I got out of the Terry stop or whatever, it was, late. I mean, they took every single item out and left me there and told me put my own stuff back. They didn't find anything in my car, in my vehicle. Why would they? Just tools. I mean, yeah, it looks messy, but they figured something's in there. They had to empty every toolbox. That's not the first time that's happened. I mean, in Florida, that happened. I don't want to go through every situation, but I can say this about discrimination. Police and local law enforcement they can be very quick to establish judgment against you. Meanwhile, people like my father live at like 50 Water Bend Drive in the Woodlands. They wouldn't dare. They would not even approach him with an indignant attitude. Okay? I mean, but that's common. People that are suffering, just like the Bible said, it talks about the poor in spirit, the people that are poor in spirit, because they're working and they're struggling and they're trying to do their best, and maybe I might be tithing or praying for this or praying for that. And, we get broke down, poor in spirit, and we have to continue to fight. Meanwhile, people that are wealthy, they rarely are going to enter into the kingdom of heaven, the Bible said, but the poor people, blessed are the poor, right? That's what Jesus said. Because we do get discriminated against. And whether or not the police want to make some kind of argument about how bad somebody is, they don't know. They haven't walked a day in anybody's shoes. And they need to put their little idea thinker things on in the right direction, because they got some stuff backwards. Okay? And who the real criminals are. Meanwhile, we got illegal immigrants. We got all these criminals out there, cartel members. They need to, the law enforcement need to wake up. Okay? Some of these people like me, I mean, I could be doing a lot of good. I can be doing good. I am doing good, but they just don't recognize that level. The only people they recognize is, law enforcement, first responders, right? The essential workers. They're the ones doing good. You're wrong. You're wrong. You have no idea what real intelligence is and what real Americans do. Okay? Because you have a clock to punch. You punch in, punch out. I've never had that convenience. I'm a contractor. I have to sell. I have to do all this additional advertising, marketing my stuff, it's just, you could call it, nowadays they call it an influencer, except I don't just sit in front of a camera. Yeah. You literally have to get in front of people's with contracts and everything. But look, you got to be able to have a product, a service, something, provide something. But there's a lot of issues with law enforcement, and I know probably now is not the best time, but it's an ongoing thing. It's like they treat you so rudely, like the service. It's supposed to be serve and protect. That's what I know, and everybody hates to hear people complain about it, that they're supposed to serve and protect. But that is actually the truth, but it's not usually. They're more like private security guards for the rich. That's actually real.